Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Art Club. So this week we're going to be celebrating LGBT History Month. LGBT History Month is a month devoted to celebrating the history and lives of lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people. And the plus on the end means others, and it's used to include people of all identities. The rainbow flag is a symbol of LGBT pride, and we will be taking it as our inspiration today for our rainbow rain cloud that we're going to be making out of a paper plate. If you want to learn more, here are some excellent LGBT friendly books that you can reserve on the Idea Store app. So for this activity you will need half a paper plate, 4 to 6 strips of card, some PVA glue in a brush, some scissors, a bunch of cotton wool and some colours. If you want to be super adventurous and you've got stuff at home, you can grab some bits to collage with. So I've got some fairy cake cases, some embroidery string and some paints. Now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your paper plate and you're going to start gluing down your cotton wool onto it using your PVA glue. Now you can stick your cotton wool straight down onto your paper plate, but I would recommend pulling it apart a little bit. It's probably the least wasteful use of it, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So as you can see, I'm gently pulling apart the cotton wool and it gives you much more surface area to play with, and then I'm laying it gently on my glued surface, kind of going round in a sunrise sort of pattern. Once that's all stuck down, you should be left with a fluffy, tufty cloud like this. You can pull out the sides slightly to make it look a little bit rougher and more cloud-like. Next, it's time to decorate your strips. So I decided to use paint here. This isn't essential. You can use anything you want, any colours you have at home to decorate, but we want to make it as colourful as possible. So if you've got loads of felt tips, go for it, but if you've got paint, that's great too. Don't do what I'm doing. Make sure you've got a surface like newspaper underneath so you don't get your paint on the surface that you're using. So I'm using the other side of my paper plate here to make sure I don't get it on my table. As you can see, I am a very messy painter and I get it all over me, but that's fine, that's part of the fun. So I've gone for a red strip, an orange strip, a yellow strip, and then this kind of purpley blue colour. But you can do more colours than this if you want. To give it a little bit more texture and interest, I am using some paper cases for cakes that I found in a cupboard. I'm cutting them up to stick on my strips. This gives not only more colour, but as I said, a little bit more texture, which makes it feel much more rain-like, shall we say. Then I'm just going to grab my scissors to cut any excess off, like that. You can leave it if you like it with excess, but that's what I've come out with, and all 4 strips look like this. Don't be scared to contrast your colours, that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to stick these 4 strips. You want to leave them to dry. If you've painted them, you definitely want to leave them to dry, and then leave them to dry again when you put the PVA glue on. Once they're dry, you can then start sticking them onto the back of your cloud, just like this. And there we have it, our beautiful rainbow rain cloud. You can put it on the front of a blue piece of paper, so it's like the sky. You can hang it up with a bit of string like I've done here. Thanks so much for coming to Art Club this week. Hope you have a lovely LGBTQ History Month, and we'll see you next week for another session of Art Club.